You had an interesting trend recently. I mean, not you, but you've seen an interesting trend recently when you see people who haven't been affiliated with gangs join gangs, affiliate themselves with gangs later on in life. You've seen that with like Lil Wayne. You've also seen it with Chris Brown.
Yes.
I don't know what the situation happened, at that club with Chris Brown and Sugar or whatever, but the first thought was, okay, this sounds like it's gang related.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Just
did.
from the outside.
It did.
From the outside. How do you feel, as someone that's been banging since 10 years old, how do you feel when someone who's rich and successful, that's never been around gangs before, decides in their mid-20s or so forth to start affiliating themselves with gangs?
Well, I feel it has to either be a psychological defect to where you don't want to enjoy your life and enjoy your wealth and, ride around on boats and, pop bottles and just live a stress-free, life as far as attracting unwanted attention and aggression upon yourself. Why would you want to be rich and start fighting people? I mean, it makes no sense to me. So, I see it as like the peer pressure aspect is that, is this what you really want for yourself, or do you feel that this is the only way you'll be secure in certain areas? So are you buying into it for protection, or that's the only logical conclusion that I can come to, because I can't see somebody waking up one day and like, okay, the Bentley's in the driveway, couple of mil in the bank. Let me go to the hood and get shot at. Let me go stand on the corner and get shot at, so people could say, "Oh man, that's a tough guy." People gonna say you stupid as, you already know. So I don't get it.
So it bothers you when you see that type of thing?
No, it don't bother me. It bothers me for the only thing about it that bothers me is that they don't know what they really getting into or could be getting into. Because, people make themselves targets. Like if you're a person out there in the gang life that you really out there about that life, dropping bodies, all that, they're gonna be coming for you in a minute. You know the enemy gonna be coming for you in a minute because you shaking them up, you putting it down. Now you have guys out there on the hunt like that. They know their time is numbered, so it's like, wait a minute, Chris Brown banging. Oh, I can go kill Chris Brown and my name won't live on forever. And you just a stripe. You're not thinking about your family. You're not thinking ahead. You can't be thinking ahead, wanting to be a grown man and joining a gang and obligating yourself to a lifestyle that you really know nothing about, and obligating yourself to people who wouldn't give a damn about you if you was just Charlie Brown walking in off the streets.
How does it work on the other side of that situation? So let's just say that a famous celebrity, at the time that you was active, and you were insane, active, insane. Let's just say some superstar wants to come in and say, I want to claim insane now, and I want to throw up gang signs in the club, and I want to wear my blue rags and on my album cover and have the homies in my videos and stuff like that. What's expected on the flip side? What do y'all expect from him at that point?
Well, a little bit over a decade ago, I would have took that guy and you say, is this what you really want to do? And, I thought about who I wanted to give it to, and probably would have took him out there and, let him get his hands dirty and been like, okay, you obligated, you in. It don't stop here though. That's just step one. And then I'd have laid down step 2 through 10. And if he'd have made it through all them, he'd have been in. But now, where I'm at in my life and the things that I know, and just being real with myself and others, he probably wouldn't want to talk to me no more. I talk so bad to him. Like, man, what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Why? What's the purpose? You know, what are you going to actually get out of it? What are you getting into it for? Now, if you just want to hang around a particular gang and, you know, then be friends with you, I mean, just be yourself. I mean, you know, buy a couple of homies some cars and, you know, build a, you know, buy a liquor store or something and, you know, give a couple of people some jobs or whatever. And they be like, oh, he cool, he always in the hood. And, you know, you can endear yourself to the homies much different than committing yourself to this lifestyle because, like you said about prison, you know what I'm saying, once you are a part of that, you know what I'm saying, it's, you know, you locked in.
So, you know, when you see the Suge situation, you know, once you're into that type of life, can you ever really just completely put it aside and say, I don't do that anymore? You know, I don't want to have no type of affiliation and people will respect that? Or are you always going to be somewhat of a target based on things that you've done or based on things that people affiliated with you have done?
You're always going to be a target from your enemies, former rivals, whatever, because, you know, just because you feel like now, oh, I'm at the stage in my life where I'm not worried about that stuff anymore. I'm not, man, you killed my uncle, dude. You know, you know, damn where you at. I'm still, you know, I'm still looking for vengeance.
Still hurt over
it.
it.
Yeah. So on that note, you're always going to be a target, regardless. And as far as being able to walk away and say you cool, that's totally up to the homies. You know, you have to been and earn that much respect and, you know, regard as a real homie that put everything in that was expected of you, and you want to go this other direction in your life, all right, homie, we support that. We love you. You ever need us, it's all good. We right here. But, you know, you can't just stick your toe in it and say, okay, well, that was enough for me. It's not. It's enough when the homies say it's enough.
So you've seen it happen that you've seen people walk away and you guys supported that?
Yes. I mean, you know, and the walking away usually entails a homie just maturing to the point where, you know, look, homie, me and the homegirl done had 7 kids now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I'm sending them through school. You know, my kid got action at becoming a good football player, and this one is doing good in math, and I'm trying to, you know, be there for him and all that. So, you know, when it get funky, ain't nobody gonna go knock on this door like, hey, homie, let's go. You know, you got enough foot soldiers for that. That's why, you know, gangs always recruit youth to keep that fresh blood, and same way as the military.